So thank you for attending and watching the last couple of videos. We're almost finished our first project under basics, and we've been talking about different things. Most importantly, we've been discussing perspective. So as you can see, as we go towards the horizon line, everything is starting to get smaller. And in the case of our circle, what we have is we have the making of an ellipse. And you'll notice that first of all, craters, although they look perfectly, I guess you could say they look perfectly round. But when you look at them, they're not really round, so that when you look at them as they are, whether they be on the moon or Earth has more erosion, so they're rounder. But in this case, this is a very pockmarked area. You haven't seen more bumps on this than Dr. Pimple Popper. But so we have definitely, you're being drawn to the edge of the world. And then we're looking at the color, and the color is all gray. So this gray actually becomes the color that we're using to paint. Like the graphite is literally becoming the paint. And then the felt pen. Now some can argue that this, for instance, this line here is fairly dark. And maybe I did that a little too dark. But the whole thing is that what's happening is the lines are thinner. They're thinner up here, and they're thicker here. And it draws your eye. So your eye is basically drawn forward. And it pulls the front back. And so right now we're just using gray as the color, because we're really using black and white as the two contrast. And then, of course, there are some whites. There's a little bit of white here, and pretty close to a white, is here. So sometimes the light is reflecting a little different, a little bit here. So that looks okay. I mean, it kept you busy for the afternoon. And last but not least, I have to finish off North America. And I was thinking, how can I do that? And so I thought I would color it in. With a highlighter. And so, if you could believe that this is what the Earth looks like. Now, obviously, if you live in Canada, like right here, I think this is an adequate representation. So for our international viewers, this is Canada, and this is where I live. And the grass is always greener on the other side of the border. And this is known as the Great White North. And so as I sit back and I look at now we're going to imagine that I'm looking at Earth out of my spaceship. And all I can imagine is, actually, hang on. I think this will work out better. That's right from there. So I'm looking out my lunar rover, and this is what you see. And so welcome again. Thank you very much for an afternoon project. We're learning perspective and basically shading and, of course, some pencil scumbling work. So thank you again. And I hope you enjoyed another episode of Bionic Water-colourist.